Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Zoom presentation for Wealth Warriors. It's Sunday evening, Sunday the 22nd of March 2026. My name's Andy Galloway, and I'm going to explain in this presentation, in this video, who Wealth Warriors are, what we're about, why we exist, why you should join us, all the good benefits of being part of a community like this. And I was sorely tempted. I wrote out such a good invitation in Telegram earlier. I was sorely tempted to read that by way of an introduction to this, by way of introducing this presentation. So I'm going to see, I think I probably will actually, maybe not all of it, but certainly the first couple of paragraphs. So it says, during this presentation, I'll be presenting the ethos and philosophy, move it down here, the ethos and philosophy behind Wealth Warriors, explaining why we exist and what we're trying to achieve. People often say that online business space is like the Wild West. My response is always the same. One, the Wild West wasn't the Wild West that you see on TV or in the movies, where people were able to kill each other and steal from each other without consequence. That's a misrepresentation of the Wild West. If you perceive this space as the Wild West, it's because you're running around acting like a cowboy. This statement is often used to justify the disgusting behavior of the person saying it. It's like, well, everybody else is scamming people, but at least I scam people nicely. It's crap. It's a lie, and people who say things like that are to be avoided if you like keeping your money. However, it is true that we're operating a deregulated part of the economy. That's why we like it, because of the allure of big and quick returns. Once this industry gets regulated, we'll be regulated to receiving 10% per year on our money, and that's in a good year. But consider that, even in the Wild West, there were many more legitimate businesses than there were crooks. Hotels, banks, churches, blacksmiths, stores, cattle markets, ranchers, horse traders, attorneys, etc. They all ran perfectly legitimate businesses, yet they operated in the Wild West. Operating in this industry is not an excuse to disregard everyone who's influenced by your decisions and the things you say. It's not a mandate for people, it's not a mandate to cut people loose who trusted you just so that you can take your saddlebags of their gold and move on to your next venture. That behavior is not good enough. Wealth Warriors is about succeeding or failing together. We have a plan to make sure that failure is never disastrous and failure is never final. Whatever happens, we're all in the same boat together. Now, if you don't feel that sense of camaraderie, all for one and one for all, gung-ho, damn the torpedoes sense of belonging to a team, then it's not the team's fault. It just means that you haven't sold out to the concept yet. You don't trust the process. You are still operating under the mindset that you're a small gear wheel in a large machine. In Wealth Warriors, that's not the case. You are a valued member of the team and your success is of paramount importance. During tonight's presentation, we will talk about the above statements to explain why no one ever created anything worthwhile on their own. Columbus had a crew and a support infrastructure. The Higgs boson was only proven after billions of dollars were spent by dozens of countries, after millions of man-hours of labor over many years. And even Microsoft, the alleged one-man success story, was only made possible by a team of visionaries and billions of dollars from investors. Nothing is created by a single person. Great acts are committed by a single person, but long-term success is built by dedicated and committed teams. It's time to sell out to your dreams and commit to being part of the only team on the planet that meets your commitment halfway, which of course is Wealth Warriors. That's what we do. We stick together through thick and thin, and you're going to see the plan for how you can benefit by being part of this unique, as far as I know, it's a unique team. So I'm going to share my screen now, and I'm going to start a presentation. And I know some of you groan when I say that it's a standard presentation. I don't think I've ever done a standard presentation in my life, but this is going to be, hopefully it's going to be something that you'll recognize, but it'll be in a different format. So welcome to Wealth Warriors, and we're involved in crypto and trading and real estate and a few other things. But most importantly of all, we're involved in online businesses that meet our criteria. So today is Sunday the 8th of March 2026, and I refer to Wealth Warriors as financial freedom fighters. And I'm not sure if you get that analogy. I like the analogy that we're fighting for ourselves, for our freedoms, and in a very literal sense, we're fighting for our freedoms against the forces that would otherwise keep us subservient to their wishes, their wills, and their desires for our life, rather than living our own lives. Now, that might sound like it's a very, very big picture, and it really is a big picture, because what I'm going to show you tonight is just like the thin end of the wedge. There's so much more to this than what I'm going to show you. But if you don't get the concept, if you don't sell out to the concept I'm talking about, then you won't get all the benefits of everything else further down the line. So the first thing I'm going to do is give you a disclaimer, because I'm not going to give you any advice, investment advice or financial advice. And if it sounds like I apologize for how it sounded, but I have not given you any advice. Wealth Warriors is not an investment platform. We're a community, but we do promote platforms. That doesn't mean we're an investment platform. If you do decide to invest in any of the platforms in this presentation, only use money you can comfortably afford to lose. And please do carry out your own due diligence. And I am a member of the management team for Veralio, which is one of our platforms, but I'm not an employee or an agent of any of the other platforms or companies mentioned herein. So although I'm part of the management team, I'm very much on the side of Wealth Warriors rather than on Veralio's side. I was recruited by them because of they see what I'm doing with Wealth Warriors. They understand the ethos and, dare I say, the integrity I bring to this role. They wanted that as part of their management team. So first and foremost, I am in Wealth Warriors. And secondly, I am part of the management team for Veralio. So what is the problem with online businesses? Well, the first rule is, or the first problem is, there are too many scams out there. And scams are set up to deliberately take your money away, and there is a huge, huge number of them out there. If you just blindly go and stick a pin into a list of online companies 20 times, there's a high probability you're going to hit 20 scams. You could probably do it 50 times and still hit 50 scams. I've investigated over 350 different platforms in the last 2 and a bit years, and I've only turned up a handful, 20 or so. Even then, some of them I got in and they let us down, and some I just didn't get into. Or Wealth Warriors didn't get into. There are a huge number of scams. So just doing this on your own, I feel sorry for you, that unless you know how to analyze businesses, you don't stand a chance. If you just do it because somebody else gets you excited, somebody else says, I'm withdrawing money, look how great this is, I've made $1,000 this week, okay? None of those prove that it's not a scam. In fact, a lot of those things prove that it is a scam, because all scams want to pay out a lot of money at the beginning so that people will run around dragging their friends into things. There are some businesses that aren't scams, but they're just poorly run. That's the same with all lines of business. Your high street, there are businesses that aren't there now that were there 5 years ago. They're not bad people. They didn't set out to scam people, but they're just badly run. Not everybody knows how to run a business. And even if they do know, they don't have the skills, the expertise, maybe even the financial wherewithal to make that business work. So where I can, I spot those businesses that are being poorly run or poorly set up. And again, if you're not part of Wealth Warriors, you have to figure that out all on your own. Some businesses aren't scams, they don't go bust, but the regulators decide not to like them for some reason. There are good reasons why they don't like them, but none of those reasons mean that it's a scam or a poorly run business. Okay, it might be massively complicated, and so therefore they get lots of complaints from people who didn't understand what was happening. And as soon as they get enough complaints, they'll say, well, we're going to shut this down and seize all of their assets. And therefore, all of the people that have invested their money lose their money, because the government has decided they like it much more than they like you having it. So that's kind of what happens there. The other thing is, it doesn't matter how much money you make in online businesses. Even if you choose good quality platforms, you can still not become financially free. You cannot become free from time, free from government control. That's something we offer as part of Wealth Warriors. So individually, what can we do about it? Well, we're doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past if we don't wise up and get either understand ourselves what we're doing or team up with some people who are, and collectively we can help most of us avoid the pitfalls of the industry. Now, when we make a mistake, it costs $100. It doesn't cost us the thousands. We don't have to sell our pension fund or sell our. I heard somebody a while ago, they sold their truck to get into something, promised big rewards within a couple of years, and of course the business was gone within those 2 years. So he not only lost his truck, but he lost all the money and lost his dreams, I guess. So if you don't know what you're doing, it's easy to lose. Or another way of looking at it is that none of us are as smart as all of us. So collectively, we avoid a lot of the stuff that's out there. We're safer and stronger together. And what we want, the reason we want to be safe is because we want time. If we have time, then we can start small and build big. If we don't have a lot of time, if we get involved in a platform, we think we've got a year for this, then we've got to start as big as we can and hope that we can make our profits before the thing goes bust. Not a very comfortable situation to be in. I'd rather start small and build big with a number of platforms. So it takes a while. It takes 3 or 4 years maybe to build up some sort of meaningful portfolio. But when you think about your job, then you've been working your job for a long time. And how long did it take you to become financially free from your job? I don't know. If you're like most people I know, you're not financially free from your job, and you never will be, because jobs aren't designed to make you financially free. They're designed to get the job done. They're not even designed to pay you what you're worth. They're designed to pay what the job's worth. Okay, so we want the safety of having a lot of time so that we can start small and build big. So there are some benefits. There are 7 concrete benefits. You can build Wealth Warriors and you can look back and you say, yes, I got all 7 of those benefits. Okay, the first one is you'll never lose all of your money to a scammer again. You might lose the odd $100 here and there. But what we do with multiple platforms is that you should make that up again fairly quickly. Benefit 2, you will protect your permanent network of contacts. And you'll see this in a minute. I'm going to give you an illustration. And you'll see how that works. Your friends won't hate you for getting them into a business that fails because you got them into 3 other businesses that are working. So you won't lose your friends. You won't lose your work colleagues. Benefit 3, you will build future business with far more profit. Benefit 4, you will build one business and you'll grow all of the other businesses. At the moment, we have 5, so we have 4. And so we'll grow all 4 businesses. Benefit 5, you'll start small and build big over a period of time. Benefit 6, you will recoup loans, mortgages, recent expenditure, and it'll come back to you for you to use again. Benefit 7, you will become free, wealthy, and live an abundant life. Now, you can only have those things if you follow the prescriptive rules, dare I say, of Wealth Warriors. If you go off and do your own thing, then there's no guarantees. Even if you use some of the platforms that Wealth Warriors propose, that doesn't guarantee any success. It's the system that's important. You need to sell out to the system, because the system is what will get you where you need to go, not one platform. So I'm going to give you an illustration. So imagine this: you have a team of 100 people and you're making $2,000 per month from a platform. So let's have a look at that. So here's platform 1. You've got maybe 10 people that you've introduced. They've all introduced 10 people. So you've got a team of 100. That platform is making you $2,000. So your total income is $2,000. So then we get hold of platform 2. What you do with platform 2 is you put your same 10 people in exactly the same places, and they put their 10 people each in the same places. So there's a high probability you're going to make $2,000. Now, I know this isn't realistic because the compensation plan from platform 2 is going to be different, but let's suppose it's the same. So now your income is $4,000. Now, it took you some time initially to build platform 1 and teach and train 10 people, for them to teach and train 10 people each. And so that took time and effort. Platform 2, the only other thing you had to teach them now is how to take those existing people and get them into this new platform and introduce them to how to learn about the second platform. So that's a lot less work, but it still took some effort. So now we bring in platform 3. And now platform 3 is a lot easier because everybody's a little bit more aware of what's required to get into platform 3 instead of taking so to get platform 2 on board probably took you, no, let's go back to the beginning. Platform 1 probably took you a year, I don't know, 6 months. It took you 6 months to put 100 people in your team. Platform 2 took you a month. Platform 3 took you 4 days. Platform 4, you put 100 people in and it's taken you a day and a half because everybody's getting used to it now. They all know how to do it. Platform 5 might take you a day. It's the same 10 people doing exactly the same thing in 5 different platforms. And they've got all of their friends doing exactly the same thing in 5 different platforms. Your income is going up dramatically every time we introduce a new platform, and you haven't been out recruiting anybody. You just had to learn a little bit about a new platform. And what we learn about each platform, we keep to a minimum. We'll talk about that in a minute. So this is one of the great things, because something unfortunate is going to happen to platform 4. And it might be that platform 4 was controlled by a single person who's decided he doesn't want to do it anymore. He can't do it anymore. He gets shut down by the regulators, whatever it is. Okay, through no fault of his own, nobody saw it coming. Platform 4 has gone. Your income has dropped all the way to $8,000. Everybody else's income has dropped accordingly, but nobody has lost all of their money. They've still got their investment money put in, whatever it was, wherever it was, and they're still making an income every month. So your people don't hate you because platform 4 failed. They still love you because platforms 1, 2, 3, and 5 didn't. So now what we do is we work hard to go and find another platform to replace platform 4. So we bring in platform 6, in fact, and your income within a day or so, or a couple of days, to put 100 people in your team. That happens within a few days, and your income goes back up to $10,000. Now, a couple of things that are wrong with this illustration. One is that all of the platforms have different earning capacity. So those figures they won't be the same across all the platforms. The second thing is this presupposes that you don't bring anybody new into your team. Now, if you do, if you bring them in after we've got platforms 1, 2, and 3 on the go, you have to, fill them in retrospectively. There's a system for doing that. And then if anybody in your team brings in new people, then they need to know the system for how to introduce a brand new person to one platform first, and then migrate them across to all the other platforms. Now, this is going to be massively important when we've got 25 platforms on the go. We're not going to want to spend months checking up and making sure everybody got involved. We want people to be trained and ready to do this. As soon as we get a new platform, bang, your 10 people should go in, your 100 people should go in, start earning on day 2, and everybody's happy. Okay, so that's your commitment to the system. If you then have to start saying, well, do I want to get into platform 7? Let me think about it. Let me do some investigation. Let me, sit back and see how everybody else goes. Maybe I'll get in a couple of months. Okay, don't be surprised if your people don't all of a sudden say, well, I'm getting in anyway. So either you give me your link or I get my link from somewhere else. Now, we don't want them to do that. You don't want them to do that. But that's kind of what's going to happen. So we want to make sure that we get in. We haven't got to put a huge amount of money into these platforms, but we get in, then we get our link and pass it to people so that they can get on with it. Because you might only love platform 1, but you'll have various people out of your team of 100. Some of them will love platform 1 as much as you do. Some of them won't. They won't even like it, but they'll do it out of loyalty. But they love platforms 2, 3, 5, or 6. Okay, and you've got to take that into consideration. It's no longer, when you're building a community, it's no longer about what you want or what you feel you need. You've got to look after the team. So you've got to do things that you don't necessarily feel like doing because the team needs you to do it. And if you don't do that, then you won't be feeding your team. You won't have much of a team. So it's all about, I'm beginning to learn that this whole thing about Wealth Warriors, this whole thing I've been building, is about selling out to the system. We have a system that covers everything. We're not interested in what the individual people want. We bend ourselves to the system, and then we look after our people. The system looks after us for life. The platforms don't. It's the system that looks after us for life. But we have to make sure we're doing what the system requires first. So this illustration shows four things. One is the stability of your income. You have reliable income stream, regardless of what happens to any one of the platforms. Stability of your network of people. If you bring people in and they're with you month after month, year after year, platform after platform, then they trust you, your friendship grows, okay? And that's how you can develop great relationships with people on a long-term basis. So I was in a business, we expected this business to last for the whole of our lives, literally the whole of our lives, and to be able then to will that success onto our children, and they could will it onto their children. And we were building relationships and friendships with people on beaches all over the world, thinking that we would still be with these people, for decades, on into our old age, and maybe even longer, who knows? Okay, that turned out not to be the case. As soon as that platform or that business failed, all of those relationships evaporated because we didn't have a system like this. We had a great system for building that platform. We didn't have a great system for looking after us and our well-being and our future. So the stability of your network of people is massively important. It's probably the most important thing we do. The hook, if you like, the bait to entice people, to entice you and me, is the stability of your income. Okay, but the real great benefit is the stability of our network of people. We develop relationships and friendships that we fully expect to last our lifetime. The ability to build new platforms with lightning speed, and when I say lightning speed, to put 100 people into a brand new platform, doing it within a couple of days, that's pretty fast. Most big networkers can't do that within a couple of days. Okay, so we have that advantage without selling our soul to any one platform. The effort invested into your community today will be rewarded. So effort put into a single platform may not be rewarded if it goes bust, pulls the rug, they change the compensation plan, whatever it is. I've seen all of that. They've changed the requirements. All of those things happen, and so there's no guarantee you're going to get back from a community from a single platform what you put in. Hopefully you will. But with building a network of people, by building a community, you will be rewarded because you're building your empire on solid rock, even if the individual platforms are built on sand. Not all of them are, but some of them will be. Okay, and some of you might recognize that biblical reference because we're told not to build on the sand, we're told to build on solid rock. So we need to follow the rules, and I hate rules as much as anyone, but I also hate being broke. I hate not being able to realize my future dreams and ambitions and goals, and being able to pass it on to my family. So I hate all of those things more than I hate rules. So rule number one, don't sign up on any other platform that comes along. If it's a good platform, we will get to it. And it doesn't matter if it's a good platform, it doesn't matter if we don't get into it for 2 or 3 months. Okay. And you don't fall for this early mover advantage and this sort of thing. Got to get in and be a founder. If it's good, it will be there in 3 months' time. Okay. We'll also have a little bit of history that we can look at. We can say, I wonder why they do this. What's the reasoning behind this decision or that? Part of the compensation plan. We'll be able to see things a lot more clearly rather than just somebody waves some shiny things at us and we go, oh yeah, that's it, I've got to get in, I've got to get in now, I've got to sell everything I own, put it into the platform because it's so good. Okay, we don't do that. We don't have to do that. So don't sign up in any other platform that comes along. If it's a good platform, Wealth Warriors will adopt it at some point. Do sign up in all the platforms we adopt. You can't possibly believe that you're a member of the team if you don't at least sign up in all the platforms that we adopt. Do maintain lines of sponsorship. And I see this sometimes where people say, Well, I sponsored John last time in that platform, and then he introduced Steve. So this time I'm going to sponsor Steve and he can introduce John. You can do that, it's your business, but it'll mess things up dramatically for you, for your community further down the road. So do maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. Do get your personally introduced people to do the same, and do support your own people by learning about all of the platforms we adopt. Now, I said we only need basic information about platforms. We don't need to know everything about everything. We get involved in a platform because there is a passive earning ability and there is a team building earning ability or capability, and that's all we do. If they then bring in some other things where it's to do with Visa cards and it's to do with some weird and wonderful coin, get these coins and hold on to them for 5 years, whatever, not interested. We want to do the passive thing. We want to do the team building thing because that's what we can do in all of our platforms. That's all we want to do. Now, if you want to, with one or two of the platforms, you want to cherry pick some of the other goodies they've got, feel free, but it's not necessary. And what you'll find is that if you spend too much time going into all the detail of these platforms, you haven't got time to do the important thing, which is to get involved in all the other platforms. With this system, we could quite easily, I believe, we could quite easily be involved in 25 platforms, not next week, not next year, but in the fullness of time, 25 different platforms. You're earning from the same people or from the efforts of building that community in all 25 platforms. Can you imagine what that would do to your community? Somebody joins and they're instantly making money in 25 platforms. They bring in people who are instantly making money in 25 platforms. It's going to be phenomenal. You're not going to believe when it happens. You will be amazed at how good it gets. Okay. But if you get involved in too much other stuff to do with any of the platforms, you won't be able to do that. You will just have another job. You'll be looking after all sorts of different weird and wonderful things to do with platforms that aren't really mainstream. You don't really get that much benefit from it because it's only that one platform that's doing that. Okay, so it's not a big deal. And if you divert all of your people into doing all that other stuff, they won't then have the bandwidth to do the things they should be doing for the other 24 platforms. So the rules ensure you get security of income, build your permanent network, and become wealthy and live an abundant life. Conversely, not following the rules means you're going to miss out on security of income, looking after your permanent network, and becoming wealthy and living an abundant life. Personally, I'd rather stick to the rules and get that, make that become part of my life. Because once I've adopted that mindset, I don't need to think about it again. I just do the things the system recommends, and it's much easier that way. I'm not second guessing. I'm not spending sleepless nights. Should I do this? Should I? No, I know exactly what I'm doing because I'm just following what the system says. And what I might do actually in the future is itemize the system. I'll show you that it's a circular system. You get in and then you do this, then you do that, then you do that, then you do that, and then you do it all again. Okay, and it's very, very easy to follow a system. So in the same way as a travel plan will include a series of steps along the way to arrive at the right destination safely and on time, a correct strategy is required for you to achieve financial and personal freedom. It's not going to fall out the sky. It's not going to land in your lap. You need to do some things, and you need to do some things that are different. They're uncomfortable. And sometimes you don't understand why you're doing them, but there's always a reason. Because if financial freedom or freedom in general were easy, everybody would have it, and nobody has it. Very, very few people, even wealthy people, are still. You hear of wealthy people who are taken to court and they're sued for this, that, and the next thing, or there was something they did wrong with their tax filing 15 years ago, and all of a sudden they're in court and maybe going to prison. Okay, they've got a lot of money. They don't have freedom. They don't have security. It can all be taken away like that. If you're still part of the system, when you make a lot of money, you will run into more problems than you can possibly imagine. The money doesn't solve your problems. It creates new problems. And if you don't know how to handle them, if you've never been wealthy before, you need to figure it out on your own. Okay, your attorneys will only give you the advice that's best for them. Your accountants will only give you advice that's best for them. You've got to figure it out yourself. Okay, so good luck with that. So I suggest you get free from all of that before you make a lot of money. So look, this is what we're trying to do. You look after your community first, and your community will look after you forever. And we kind of don't like doing that. We don't like, doing things with no reward for people. Maybe some of those people we don't even know. We put ourselves out there and we just give, give, give. When are we going to get something? When's our turn? Okay. But that's what building a community means. You give, then you give, then you give some more. Just when you think you can't give any more, you give some more. And then you start looking back and you say, wow, look at what I've got. Look at what I've built. Look at what my future holds. This is brilliant. I'm glad I did that. And the way you get that is because you're doing something that most other people wouldn't do. You need to be a pioneer. Okay, you need to cut the swathe through the jungle so that the people coming behind you can turn it into a footpath, so that the people behind you can turn it into a trail, so that the people coming behind them can build some roads. But you're the one out the front with the machete and the mosquitoes and the swamps. Okay, but you've got to do that. You're a trailblazer. Remember, the work required to build a single platform can be wasted over and over again. And we've seen that. We've seen that in the last few months. It just gets wasted over and over again. But the work required to build your community has a permanent benefit, and it pays over and over again. So do you want to waste your time and money over and over again, or get paid over and over again? It's a very, very simple formula, that one. So the criteria are that it must be available, a platform must be available in the whole world. It must have a unilevel compensation plan. People must be able to join for free or get involved in a passive income program for a very low entry cost, i.e. $100. And the combination of 1, 2, and 3 means we can maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. I said that's the most important thing you can do. And this is the practical things you do to make sure that happens. Number 4, it must be based on real world applications. And I see so many things that aren't based on real world applications. They're just a money game or a shell game. And we don't like that. We like to know where our money's being made. So we must be able to verify the company's legal status and its involvement in the real world activities. So if they're traders, let's see the trading results. Let's meet the traders. Let's see their certification. Let's see their insurance. Let's see their qualifications. Okay, that sort of thing. Let's see the startup capital for the company. Let's meet the owners. Let's check out the repute of management, and so on and so forth. So we like to do that. Sometimes we can't do that because there is no company. It's run by smart contracts. So the only verification for a smart contract is to see that the smart contracts are working. They've worked before, and so we can reasonably expect they're going to continue to work again, because that's the nature of computer code. Is like Newton's. No, I can't remember whose law it is, but a body at rest remains at rest unless acted on by an external force. So the code continues to run the way that it's running unless it's changed. And these smart contracts, is not impossible to change the coding, but it's very difficult. And the people who are who would be able to do that would have nothing to gain from changing the code. So we trust smart contracts as much as we trust anything. We don't blindly trust things, but it's as secure as it can be. The compensation plan must be viable and sustainable. We see compensation plans that are not viable and sustainable. Sometimes we see a platform where the compensation plan is viable and sustainable, but the company says it's not. So you've got to be suspicious then. Why are they telling us lies? So either the system's not doing what they say it's doing, or there's something weird and wonderful going on. Otherwise, they wouldn't be changing the compensation plan. And we must all be able to get involved, because if we want to maintain lines of sponsorship, we can't have some people say, well, I can't get involved in that business, that platform, because it's to do with gambling, or it's promoting alcohol use, something like that. So we've got to be careful. We want everybody within Wealth Warriors to be able to do it. And if we walk away from a few platforms that are otherwise good, that's fine. I'm prepared to pay that price. There are good platforms out there. We just need to find the ones that meet these criteria. And we have some. We'll have more. So we have the Republic of Old Souls, which is a part of the freedom movement. And this is where our this is where our freedom would come from. You can recoup your recent expenditures. You can create your own currency. You can recoup all of your past mortgages. You can become free from all political control or financial control of central banks and your local government and so on. So Republic of All Souls, I've only donated 3 lines of this presentation to it, but it's a huge, huge subject. You can make money as an advocate by introducing other people, and as they order services, so you can make commissions for introducing. Those commissions have to go to somebody. So they might, if it's your friends paying the money, it might as well come to you. Those commissions on the back end can be very, very lucrative indeed. You can build a team as big as you want. Okay, so that's the Republic of Old Souls. The basic idea, though, is that you get involved for yourself and you pay for the services that you want. And there are 6 different protocols to choose from, so I'm not going to go into any more than that. BitNex is a very smart system where you purchase a $100 contract. Sorry, you pay $100 to set up a smart contract. That smart contract does a number of things. One is it gets a bank loan. The second thing is it insures that bank loan. The third thing is it pays BitNex a little bit of money every single month for hosting the system. So your $100 goes into the system to create that contract, and you then start earning the profits generated by that bank loan. So you haven't got $100 earning money for you, being staked for you. You have $30,000 or $43,000, depending which contract you've taken out. So you can see that if you're only making 0.1%, then 0.1% per day, it's easy to see that you can make money if you have $30,000 working for you. Much better than if you have $100 working for you. Even if you were earning 5% a day, I'd rather have have I worked that out? No, I haven't. It doesn't matter. But I'd rather have a small percentage on a lot of money, because that multiplies out much, much quicker. You can set up contracts for 2, 3, 5, or 7 years. And typically a 2-year contract will return to you over $20,000. So that's after the bank loan's repaid, the insurance is all paid, or your BitNex fees are paid. You walk away with over $20,000. So you put $100 in, walk away with $20,000 in 2 years. And a 3-year contract will return over $35,000. I'm not going to give you the figures for the 5-year and 7-year, but you can find that out by talking to the person who introduced you, and they will share that website with you. Veralio, you can fund your Veralio account for $100. So that's basically you're paying for the service. And when they make you profit with your trading funds, then they take money away from that $100. Your trading fund can either be in your Binance exchange account, or if you don't have access to Binance for whatever reason, you can buy the Veralio coin, which is TCT. And then as the price of TCT goes up, so you can cash in later and you've made profit on the TCT. Okay, so that's Veralio. There's a lot of changes coming with Veralio, so keep an eye out for that. I'll post a few things in the Veralio section. We're probably going to have a meeting in the next few days to explain what's happening and what we're doing about it. But we're looking for a big change to make that work the way that it always should have and could have. Okay, we want it to work that way. eEstate is a real estate business that operates online. So like all businesses, everything's moving online. So they tokenize real estate. So the real estate is real, it's offline, real properties, and they convert it into tokens. And then on the website, they sell shares of that property in the form of tokens. So you can get started for as little as $117. There are sometimes special offers available for as little as $10. The higher, the more money you invest, the bigger the deal you can get involved with, the greater the return every day, and the shorter the return on investment period is. So, but you can, some people have $100 lying around doing nothing, so they can get involved and test it out. Some people are real estate people anyway, and for them to get involved in a $100,000 deal where they can recoup their money four and a bit times over the next 18 months. Real estate people fall over themselves to sign up for that deal, because in traditional real estate business, you don't do that. You put $100,000 in. One, it doesn't get you very much in real estate. So $100,000 isn't really a huge amount of money in real estate. But two, being able to make back 413% in 18 months, just unheard of, completely unheard of. If you are good at for example, there's one system where you can flip a property, you buy it cheap, you do it up, you refurbish it, and then sell it on. You could double your money. Even then, that's kind of rare. Most people are happy with 50 or 60% in return on their investment. But even if you double your money, there's nowhere near 413%. So Lumex is still on my list of things to talk about. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why now. So Lumex actually is one of these platforms that changed its operating system a little while ago, a few weeks ago, and they shut the doors. There were no more withdrawals, and they opened their doors again about a week or so ago. And they opened the doors with a diktat that you would have to, if you wanted to have access to all the stuff that you've invested previously, you'd need to put some more money in. And you'd need to put a significant amount of money in order to unlock everything you had there previously. And I said, I don't think we want to do this anymore. This is a load of rubbish. However, they made a decision, I think it was yesterday. I only read about it. I read about it yesterday, so it was in the last couple of days. They made this decision that you don't need to put a lot of money in. You just need to do something, say $100, and it will unlock what you already have there that's ready to earn you money. There's a whole lot of other stuff I don't want to go into now. But if you have a few contracts in there, say maybe you've got $300 or $400 worth of contracts, and they've stopped producing, you may be as well, I'm not advising this, but you may want to think about just buying another contract for $100, which means that you will then receive all money from all of those contracts you've already started. And you'll continue to receive money until you've received 3x of all of those contracts. So that's just why I've left it on the list. I'm not advocating brand new people get involved with it. I'm not advocating that we put a lot of money in. I'm just saying if you are already in, you may be able to get something back by starting one more contract. Okay, if you don't understand that, if you're brand new looking at this, don't worry about Lumex. We won't be getting involved in a big way. We'll just be kind of hanging on, as we do with some of these platforms that fail. We just hang on to make sure we can get back whatever we can get back, which often isn't a lot. But in this case, you could get back 3x all of your contracts that you have that haven't fully paid up. So that's why it's still on the list. All of the above platforms have programs for additional rewards for team building. Okay, so with team building, if we build our teams correctly, our team building will be a piece of cake. That's where we should score hands down over any other team or any other system, because we have our teams made. We just slot them into whichever platform we are going to be building. So our communications, we run a Telegram supergroup, and a supergroup is just basically a group in Telegram where you have a different topic for each of the platforms that we operate. So we have one which is like the main chat, which we call the Wealth Warriors Open Forum, and then we have a single topic for each of the platforms. We also have a couple of other topics. For one's for motivational stuff. Sometimes somebody will see something that motivates them, they can cut and paste it and stick it in there to motivate all of us as a team. Also, I keep track of it badly. Businesses I've looked at that I think we shouldn't get involved with, and sometimes I write up a script and put it in there to explain why we're not getting involved with it. There are other businesses that are good businesses, but they don't meet all of our criteria, so I write them up and put them in another topic saying this is actually quite a good business, but it doesn't meet our requirements. So we have a couple of those on the go as well. So make sure you get added to that group. Keep up to date with changes. If you're not part of the group, pester your upline until they add you. There's only a few people, in fact, who can add people to that group because we don't want to end up with a group full of spammers. So, just get hold of an admin from the group. You'll be able to see them. Just get hold of them and say, I want to add, my friend John. Okay, they'll ask you a few questions like, what platform did John join? Can I have a screenshot of the contract he bought or the position he's taken, the property he's bought, whatever it is? Can I have a screenshot? And then if you say it's okay, we'll trust you. But we, make sure everybody, when they join our Telegram group, make sure they all read Rule 1. Rule number 1 is pinned in the open forum group. Okay, so read rule number 1, and we enforce that very strictly. If people report to me that people have been approaching them outside of the group, they're gone. Okay, no second chances. They're gone forever. So there'll be no excuses because we're telling everybody read the pin messages. Rule number 1. We want that platform to be a safe place. We don't want to be scammed and spammed and all sorts of other things. So what else do we do? Attend the Zoom calls of the platforms. We publish the schedule as soon as we can get hold of it. If you want to, you can publish the schedule of a platform. If nobody's done it yet and you see the advert for it, stick it in there. Don't just rely on me doing it because I get busy doing things as well. And sometimes it might be days before I go and have a look in that Telegram group. Or wherever I am, I can't then cut and paste things. I'm busy doing other things. So if you want to, post things in there that you think will interest the rest of the group. For the Republic of Old Souls, register for free and work your way through the webinars and books at your own pace. There is a roadmap called Roadmap to Freedom, and you'd be well advised to start that as soon as you can and complete it as soon as you can. It will explain everything you need to know about how the system works, because you have to do it. Nobody's going to do it for you. They'll guide you. They'll make everything available for you to do it, but you have to do it yourself. That's the way that system works. So get the referral links for all the platforms from people who invited you to this presentation. Now, I told somebody on a Zoom call, I think, the other day, in every single platform that I've registered, I have a little file called links. And in there, I have the links that people can use to go to that site and register under my name. Some of them, where you have a landing page, I have 2 links. I have the landing page, and I've also made a link then for if I want to send somebody to just join directly. So I've told them everything they need to know. They don't need to go to the landing page. They just want to go and register. I've got that link and I send that to them. Okay, so every single platform has got its own folder called links. So when somebody says, can you send me your link? I know exactly where to find it. I've also got, sat above all of those folders, I've got a single file with every single link that's current. So occasionally I get people message me and say, I've just seen one of your videos, best video I've ever seen. That is absolutely brilliant. What a tremendous guy you are. They say all that sort of stuff. I don't believe a word of it. And then they say, can you send me all of your links? So I just send them a single text file with all of the links in it. So you haven't got to do that. That's just a suggestion. When we get a new platform and people say, can I have your link? I'll be able to go and just get the link straight away. I'll know exactly where it is and send it to people. So register in all the opportunities and make a note of your referral links for each of the platforms and pass these links on to your existing frontline members or to people that you invite to see this presentation. Make a minimum payment into all the opportunities, but if you can't do that, sign up in all of them anyway. If you don't fund it, if you don't fund some of them and you end up missing a few commissions, that's not a big deal. You'll catch up with those commissions further down the line when you can fund those projects. The most important thing is to register, get your referral link and pass it on. And that's something, you want all of your people to learn. You haven't got to pay for everything. Just register and pass your link on. Attend a Zoom call or watch the video for each platform you've added funds to your account. And then when we add another platform, do this. make sure to get the referral link from your upline. And it's great to see people phoning the upline saying, can I have your referral link? It annoys me when people do it to me, but I'm thinking you're absolutely right. You should be chasing me up because this is what I advocate. So, you're right to chase me up. It just annoys me that I haven't done it yet. So chase your upline. Make sure you get your referral link, and then when you got your referral link, pass it on to your team, and then get on a presentation for that new platform as soon as you can. So you grow your Wealth Warriors community by bringing more people to this Zoom call, or by sharing the video from YouTube. This will be up on YouTube within a couple of hours, I guess. You only have to promote one or two platforms that you're excited about. You don't have to be excited about all the platforms. You've just got to be in them. You've just got to do them, do something with them. Keep your portfolio balanced. Make sure, there's a number of ways you can do that, but just make sure you're doing something with all of the platforms. You haven't got to like all of the platforms even. I remember years ago, I heard somebody making excuses, and the person they were making the excuses to said that they were saying, you need to go to this seminar, you need to travel, you need to get a babysitter, travel, be there this weekend, whatever it is. Okay. And this person said, I don't want to. They said, you haven't got to want to. You've just got to do it. And I thought, what a brilliant answer. How many times do we say, I don't want to? And so that's our excuse for not doing it. Well, what that means is we don't progress. We don't get the rewards. We don't get the results. We've excused ourselves out of success. Okay. So don't do that. You haven't got to wanna, just do it. Build one platform and have 5 or more platforms. And like I say, I'm predicting we're going to have 25 platforms in the fullness of time. I'm going to skip through this. You can pick this up off the video if you want to. Most of you on the Zoom call have seen this before anyway. You can get a BitNex landing page for free. When you become an agent in eEstate, there's a pre-made, fully customizable landing page. I've just published a video actually about, and I put the link to it in the eEstate topic in Telegram. It's about, sorry, I think that's where I put it. It's about making your own fancy QR codes. And so in there, it's done for eEstate. So in there, there's a lot of information about customizing your landing page in eEstate. So I'd recommend that to you. It's really, really cool to post your own video and to have in the top left-hand corner, a QR code so that people watching your video can click on the QR code and go and register in whether it's eEstate or BitNex or Republic of Old Souls, whatever it is. You can make QR codes for any or all of those. And there's a video about it. In Veralio, you need to request to become an affiliate and you'll get approved for that. And then you get a referral link. So with eEstate, you don't get a referral link until you become an agent. And with Republic of Old Souls, you don't get a referral link until you have become an advocate. Okay. All of the marketing materials are available in different places. Again, I'm not going to go through this. We're kind of out of time. But just to finish off, we started with the end in mind. This is what the end is. And the end is we want a solid foundation on which we can base our financial futures. The platforms will not give us a solid foundation. Most of the leaders I've ever been involved with will not give us a solid foundation. Most of us don't know how to build a solid foundation on our own. The reason we don't get involved in something like Wealth Warriors is because of pride. So just consider that. That pride will keep you broke. So, submit to the process and you will benefit. We only work with companies that are in it for the long term, as far as we can tell, of course. We only want 2 things when we join a platform: passive income and a team building income. Everything else is noise and everything else will distract you from your mission. We build a large asset, starting with a small asset and building bigger and bigger over time. We don't gamble the farm ever. If you gamble the farm on one platform and that fails, you've got nothing left to fund everything else. So it's better to take 2 years to build something, 3 years to build something, rather than try and get it all in the next 90 days and then miss. Some people have done that and it's paid off. Most people, it does not pay off. Only platforms that meet our rigorous criteria are even considered. And I apologize to people when they give me their favorite platform to look at, and I say, I'm sorry, we're not doing it because, and then they argue with me. And I say, well, we can argue as much as you like, but we're not doing it because of that. And then sometimes a long, drawn-out discussion. Brilliant. We're still not doing it. And so I don't want us collectively to waste. So we waste enough time getting suckered into things that we think might work without getting suckered into something that I'm absolutely convinced at the outset won't work. So we apply our rules to this industry to achieve our outcomes. We don't want to be at the mercy of any one company. Okay, we want to take control of our own destiny, hence being financial freedom warriors, financial freedom fighters. We want to make our own decisions, not have them imposed on us. So finally, it's important to remain safe on the internet and in the world of online opportunities at all times. Do not share your password or other credentials with anyone. Where it's available, set up your 2FA on your accounts. And if you don't know what that is or how to do it, Google 2FA. Back up your passwords and your 2FA codes in a secure location. And that's the same with the phrase codes when you set up wallets and things like that. Keep them secure. Personally, I'll write them down and I put them in a safe. Make sure the executors of your will, your living will, your power of attorney, or your beneficiaries have access to this information in the event of your incapacitation or death. That would be the greatest waste ever, I think, if you spent time and your effort building something, you make great success, you have all this Bitcoin stored, all these other things stored away somewhere, and then when it comes time to pass it on, nobody even knows you've got it, let alone where it is or how to get it. So make sure somebody has that information. So there we are, Wealth Warriors, 8th of March 2026. We are financial freedom fighters. We're not financial freedom fighters for the whole world. We're just financial freedom fighters in our own lives. And so hopefully you enjoyed that presentation. I'm going to come back to the room. And I think, what I need to say as well is get back to the person who invited you on this call or referred you to this video. They are ready and waiting to help you avoid scams, protect your permanent network, and create immense personal wealth. So with that, I'm going to stop the share. We are going to have a question and answer session, but the time has gotten away from us. So I'm going to stop this video now. It's just about an hour. So I'm going to close off the video and then we'll do questions and answers. And if you have some questions, having watched this by video, then next time, be here in person, you'll be able to ask your questions. So hopefully you enjoyed that. By all means, pass this on to people that you want to share the Wealth Warriors message with. I believe it's a tremendous message. I've not seen anything like this anywhere else, which is why we had to build it ourselves. And get used to coming on the Zoom calls on a Sunday evening or on a Wednesday evening. I'll be doing another version of this on a Wednesday evening where we focus a lot more on the different platforms. We go into them in a lot more depth. So as I say, hopefully you found that useful. Come along to the meetings yourself, bring some friends, recommend the video to people, get them on board as Wealth Warriors. You'll be glad they did, and they'll be glad you did. So that's it. God bless. I'll see you on the next video. And there we go. We're back in the room, and Sean's doing 1,000 steps for me, so that's great. Thank you. How are we getting on with my 1,000 steps?
I got almost 2 miles done. Lumex. You had said on the video there that you need to put $100 in to get back into moving on. But my understanding was $100 got you your downline back. I didn't know you had to put $100 in to get everything rolling again.
Okay. I believe what I'm telling you is correct. I run an account I run several accounts for people. One of them is for a young lady in India, And so I put the money in and she receives the proceeds. So there were 2 contracts in there for $100 each.
Yeah.
And they stopped at the same time everybody else has stopped on the 2nd or 3rd of March.
Yep.
So today or yesterday I put $100 in, and it looks like it's unlocked all 3 contracts.
Huh.
I can show you. Let me just got to change a couple of things.
Because I haven't put any in, and I got the 3x bar functioning, and I made $2 today.
Okay. Okay, now all of my contracts, they were all marked up as being settled or settled.
Am I not in progress?
Yours were all still in progress, so they should be. So let's get rid of that. Connect wallet. Connect. So we'll figure this out together. I believe what I'm saying simply because that's what I think I saw. Confirm. Connect wallet. Connect. Confirm. There we go. Okay, so I'll share my screen and you can see what I've been doing here. Switch the recording off, haven't I? Yeah. I think you can see my screen now.
Yep. We can.
Okay, so if we look at so all of these are set now to pay out profit. That one we've already had 44%. So I made the mistake of clicking and I shouldn't. So this one's already been paid 44%. This one's been paid 9.22%. And this was brand new 0.3%. So I believe all 3 of these now are paying out.
Okay.
Now, is there a way of checking that? I think there is. So let me just have another look at some things. So we've got one contract beginning with 461, one is 085, the other is 029. Because I think we can look at revenue record. Okay. So there's 11 cents there unsent. So
And you put $100 in this account, Andy?
I put $100 in yesterday, yes. In this
I
one.
didn't put any money in, and I got as well just everything how it looks like on yours without putting money in.
Yeah, yeah. And I double checked my contracts, Andy, and
Yeah.
the ones that I had showed you that weren't, the longest in, they gained like 8 cents and 4 cents today since they reopened. So, and I haven't put any money in. The one that were free from Jan, so to speak, are settled. But all of mine that were still in progress are back to, gaining a little bit of money. My understanding is they're rolling it slowly and they're going to ramp up the rewards in time.
Okay, well, personally, I don't trust the word they say. The
Yeah, right.
only reason I can explain why I don't trust them if you want me to.
Sure, sure. I'm always open for an explanation.
But yeah, well, what I'm interested here is in seeing if we can get this money out.
Yes.
Now, if by putting one, let's see, now I've just switched that reinvest, so that's gone up to 100.03.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah.
get very confused
Yeah,
now.
sure. Take all that off. You don't want to reinvest.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if we can. So so we get 3x and then we reinvest the contracts again. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think they will, to be honest. So I was hoping that by putting this new $100 contract in, it was going to unlock the earnings from these two other contracts.
And so before that happened, before you put the $100 in, those were in settle, or what were they looking like before you put the money in?
Well, the last time I looked at these, they were in progress. They've
Okay.
always been in progress.
Yeah.
But this one went up to 100.18 because it was a little while before I could get in here to switch off the old
Okay.
reinvest profit.
All right.
So it gone up to 100.18. But I don't know why this one's gone up to 100.03 because there isn't that option anymore. Or is that what they're talking about here?
Maybe so.
Yeah, reinvest profit. Okay, so yeah, we want to switch that off. Okay, so let's not reinvest the whole contract. Let's just reinvest your profit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, I'm going to write these figures down. I'm going to keep an eye on them.
Okay.
So I've got well, paid out is 44.4 and 9.22% and 0.03. So over the next couple of days, I'll post some messages about what is happening with these figures, and then we'll have the right answer. Okay, so I said I don't trust a word they're saying. And I'm very, as you know, I'm a very simple guy. To my way of thinking, if somebody sells us on an idea, for example, pay $100 for a contract, get in, and the contract's going to make you money by doing this, this, and this. If they've told us the truth, then they can't come back later and say, "Oh, we paid out too much money. Oh, the big leaders are all making too much commissions," or any of the other stupid things they've been saying. If what they told us initially is true, there will be money to pay us. There'll be money to pay the leaders, plus be able to pay us profit from those contracts on into the future, 360 days, and we get our money back again. Otherwise, if that's not the case, then they lied to us. So in order to gain trust, we don't want them to give us another load of rubbish. We want them to say, "Sorry, yeah, we lied about that, but this time we're telling the truth." And now what they're saying is they're going to give us 1% every day. Okay, but they're not proving to us how they're earning the money to give us 1% every day. And then what they're saying is you can only get 3x your money. And then the contract's dead.
Yes.
So we're not really getting 3x our money, we're getting 1x, 2x, because
right.
we put 100 in, we're getting 300 back. So we've really only made 200 times.
Right. Right.
And yeah, so I don't believe if they're not making money doing what they said, what are they making money at? What are they doing to make money? How can they guarantee the 1%?
Well, the 1%, yeah, my understanding is the 1% is an eventual payout. It's not going to happen this week because they're ramping it up with the system ramp up. That's what they say on their homepage there. It's a slow rollout.
Okay, well, again, if they're taking $100 and making $1 a day, they should be able to give us $1 a day.
Yeah.
So if they're not doing that, you got to ask the question why.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my thoughts are on my own investments is I did put $100 into my account to see what would happen. And sure enough, nothing happened. I'm fairly confident. Yeah, that's right. Quick as a flash, nothing happened.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident I'm going to get my $100 back, or at least proportion of it. I don't know if I'll get my 3x back. I don't think it'll last that long.
Okay. Okay.
And then I put $100 into this account really because I wanted to see all of my contracts are paid up or settle. So I put $100 into this contract. One, because the girl still needs some money, but two, I wanted to see what was going to happen with the non-settled contracts. However, if a brand new person approaches me now and says, "Oh, Wealth Warriors, I love what you're doing," I've got a wolf. I've got not a wolf. I've got a fox in the garden. Don't know why he's crying, but he's crying. Yeah, if somebody came to me now and said, "Wealth Warrior, seen the video, love what you're doing. I want to get involved in this particular thing," and then we start rolling them out to other platforms, I won't even mention Lumex. I won't be putting anybody else in Lumex.
Okay.
But if somebody does have some contracts in there that are in progress, then it may be worthwhile. If all it's going to cost us $100 to free up all those contracts, then it's worth doing.
And you said all of your contracts were settled?
Yes.
Weren't they StarCore?
Yes.
And they were settled?
Everything's settled.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, the model they're using is the model I spent some time on the phone with the people that run MinerX and they're big distributors, and I pointed out to them why MinerX is a scam.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that, but all the big leaders were operating as if it was a legitimate business, and the company was fooling them. But after I'd finished, of course, nobody could say they were fooled any longer.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what they were doing was you buy a booster and you earn back 3x whatever you paid for the booster, and then by the time you got your 3x back, it's you can buy another one. But the 3x is actually not just the earnings from the booster; it also includes your commissions.
Okay.
So that's kind of where the big flaw was. Now this is exactly the same, where to get your 3x back is your commissions and your contracts earnings.
Oh.
So if let's suppose you're earning $100 a day in commissions, you start a new $100 contract. It only earns for one day before it's finished because you've got $100 worth of commissions.
Okay. And that's really interesting that you start for yourself. Mine, I mean, like I said, the only two contracts sold were the ones that were marked the PL, the freebies. Everything else is still in progress for now.
Okay. I'll be interested to see if you were to put $100 in, if any of those would unlock.
Because they appear to be earning money. I mean, I have a screenshot from last week when they're still locked out, they weren't making any money. And then today they show that they're making, nominal, but they are making.
Okay. Okay. So, I think our plan there should be get what we can.
Yeah, yeah.
Give them as little as we need to get the most back out.
I took every drop of money out of the token pocket even.
Sorry, say that again.
About it.
Say that again.
Yeah, I wiped out my token pocket. I cleared my token pocket totally out. So whatever was in there that they paid me, it's in a different wallet now. It's in Nexus.
Yeah, excellent, excellent.
So yeah.
Cool. Okay, there is some news. I was on a Zoom call with Gaia earlier, and she was telling me all about some of the changes or some of the relaxations, if you like, within Republic of Old Souls. So you might have been put off getting involved in some of the different protocols that they're promoting, but right now there are special offers on some things where you can get a 25% discount at the front end. Some things you can get the front end down to zero and pay double the commission on the back end, things like that. Or you pay not double the commission, but double the entrance fee. So if you were put off with Republic of Old Souls for putting money in, then there are some options. You can get some things out without putting money in. So therefore, if if it doesn't succeed, they don't get paid, which is pretty good. So I'm not going to go through the details, but we can publish the details. I can get Gaia to write out the details if she'd be so kind, and we can publish that in the Telegram group. Veralio, I've had several discussions with the guys. They've run into all sorts of challenges. I won't bore you with the details, but they've run into all sorts of challenges with infrastructure, not necessarily with the trading engine itself. Yeah, and I've given them a list of things that I want them to sort out, so they are sorting them out slowly. With eEstate, everything's running as it should. What have I missed? BitNex. BitNex is still working in the back office to sort out some of the problems it had when the European banking regulations changed last summer. So the contracts that were affected had to introduce some new code to address that, but in the process of fixing that, they broke a lot of other things. So they're working like crazy behind the scenes. They reckon they'll have that all fixed up by the end of April. So if your contracts are showing a negative amount, don't worry about it. He says, worried about it, but don't worry about it because they say they're going to fix it by the end of April. Even if they don't fix it till the end of May, that should be okay for all of us because I'm the first one. I think I'm the first one in the room here to get a payout from there, which is in July. I may be wrong, but I think that's the case. And have I missed anyone else? Matrix Booster, no.
I did have a question about eEstate.
Sure.
I sent it over to you. Maybe you didn't see it. So I was going to put some money into the new villa, and I decided to look at the PDFs that they send you for your contract.
Yes.
And the end of the contract, it says what you bought, but it's not a very legal description. Villa. It says nothing else. Like if you buy a house, it gives you the latitude, longitude, plat, all that good stuff to identify the contract.
Okay, let's just have a little look. I've got some investment contracts here.
That was a red flag to me. I was like, oh, how are you gonna? If they do, how are you going to, identify if you wanted to potentially, I'm just thinking ahead, things go belly up, and you say you have a contract. Well, all the contract says is villa. Where is it?
Okay, can you give me a couple of days to have a chat with Brandon, the CEO, and I'll take your concerns to him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I don't want to say anything that's wrong.
Okay. Okay.
And I think it's around the fact that you own the EST. They're on the blockchain, and you're the owner of those EST.
Okay.
I'm not sure the details, so I will find that out.
Okay, and then my last question, I think, it was about the new platform, the AVAX or whatever you want to call it. What are they? I haven't looked, but can you give me just a brief summary of how they're making money? I know you've had Zooms and all that good stuff, but is there a quick summary as to how they make money?
Yeah, give me just a second.
Yeah.
Contracts. Okay, basically, it's not a system that's earning money. It's a crowdfunding operation.
Okay.
So when you put your money into the system, you're crowdfunding some people. You're giving them your money.
Okay.
Then you introduce some people who crowdfund your business.
Well, I don't have any projects, so I mean, are they funding I mean, I know what crowdfunding is. You put money in and they fund the project.
Yes,
That's crowdfunding to me.
yes.
So what are we funding? I don't have a project. Are you saying that?
You do, yeah. Your project is to build a matrix of people.
Okay. Okay.
Now there's a reason why this isn't part of the Wealth Warriors mainstream,
Okay.
because it doesn't fit our criteria. Um, it's, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'd call it sustainable, but it's. I think there's some longevity there. I think it's going to be around for a while. But the thing we like about it is if you want, and I'm not advocating everybody gets involved. If you don't want to, that's fine. It won't affect the Wealth Warriors side of things. But I think people who do get involved and put some effort into recruiting some people will make a significant amount of money, which will then can then be used to fund their other Wealth Warriors project, or, buy food, pay the mortgage, for other frivolous things like that.
Yeah.
So with things that we bring on board for Wealth Warriors, then I'm quite strong that everybody should get involved with all of those things. These other projects that we bring on board that are not part of Wealth Warriors, take it or leave it. It's not for everyone. And next time it might be something that looks pretty good. You want to do it, and I might not.
And is the reason
But the other thing I would say is that the CEO said the other day is if you're not prepared to bring on board 3 people, then don't do it.
okay. Okay. But wasn't the whole premise behind that was, hey, join up ASAP and you'll get 3 people from somebody else?
There will be spillover from your upline,
Yes.
but if you understand how these matrices spread out very quickly, let's suppose I'm putting in a brand new person every day. So in 3 days, I've given each of my 3 people 3 new people. So it's going to take me 9 days to fill up their matrices.
Okay.
And then how long is it going to take me to fill up their second row? And then how long is it going to take me to fill up? So somebody somewhere besides me has got to be bringing people in.
Okay.
So yes, you will get, if you can bring in, say, 3 or 4 people, then you get something going, and pretty soon you'll find all the other spots have been filled up by your upline, because the system doesn't allow for gaps. But if you can't bring anybody in, then there's a limit to how many people we can have on the team doing that.
And then I got an email from Lori, and she's talking that new thing, Intuition.
Yeah.
Have you looked at that? And is the reason you're not talking about that is gambling or gambling involved?
Yeah. Did I do a write-up on that? That's right. Yes, it's to do with gaming, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Wealth Warriors generally doesn't do anything
Right.
have anything to do with gaming.
Yeah, they're buying a casino, I hear now.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I hope they all make a lot of money from it.
Yeah, yeah. But so it's not a Wealth Warriors platform, but like the other ones, would it be something you want to introduce and just not make it a Wealth Warriors platform?
Possibly.
Just wondering.
Possibly. It's just I've got a limited amount of time and mental energy, and even though I'm not, even though we haven't got 25, my main goal is to get 25 Wealth Warriors platforms.
Okay.
All these other weird and wonderful things take up a disproportionate amount of my time.
Yes, it did. All right.
So Andy, these binary and tertiary systems, they worry me because if they don't go ahead and stay in line, all these 3 legs going at the same time, you have an issue like we've had many, many years ago, trying to fill up people, even though you may say there can be a spillover from the outline, which I don't think that's. I haven't experienced that. So it's basically how much effort you want to put in to generate a downline. That's the key.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So that one to me is questionable as far as having a unit. we started off having a unimetrics, right? A unilevel, which is basically our model, correct?
Absolutely.
And I agree with that. That's a good one because it's a function of your own ability, or you can just leave it as a savings account slash, uh, you know, um, a fixed account basis.
Yeah.
So that's a good model, but the other ones are questionable in my mind. In order to keep up with your own effort, you
Yes.
may you may question your own effort and you just give up.
Yeah, exactly so. But if you look at something like Uchain, um, that's been very successful. Even though it doesn't meet our criteria, a lot of Wealth Warrior members are in Uchain and enjoying the experience. It, but what I'm looking for are those platforms that are slot right into Wealth Warriors, and we've got room for 25 of those.
But the Uchain basically is an NFT model, right?
No, no.
Hello, John.
Hello. Had to come in there.
I know you
Uh,
do.
no, it's not an NFT model. It's trading, and there's staking, which you can do in your wallet. There's no NFTs involved. Everything's in your control and possession. But if I'm honest, chat, I don't think Uchain. I don't think Uchain is for you, to be honest. I don't think it's an organization for you.
Okay. No, I think
No, I was just using that as an example of, even though there's a platform that doesn't meet our criteria, it can be a successful association. And Uchain is a good example because there are a lot of Wealth Warriors that are in it and enjoying the experience. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it is a very good platform. I understand. Well, actually, I don't know your reasons why you don't like Future, or maybe I forgot, but yeah, people are enjoying it.
Yes.
And it's kind of there in the background, just people want to take some money out, and treat it like a savings and put it into another project like e-estates or whatever, then that's fine. They can do that.
Yeah. Excellent. So, chat, have I answered your questions? We need to talk about something later in the week as well. So drop me a line when you want to organise that, and
no,
I'll put something together and come and talk to you.
the ball is in your court right now, Andy. I'm open anytime you're ready.
Okay, well, let's say Wednesday evening after my Wednesday call. So about this time on Wednesday.
Okay, well, let me see whether he's going to be available or not.
Okay.
Okay,
And if
good.
he is, I'll just sit on his chest till he signs the forms.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we can make something happen around about that time, midweek or maybe even a bit earlier. So, Gaia, you have your hand up. Come and say hi.
Yeah. Hi. So the Matrix, the new one, I thought that was a real passive one, but obviously you need to get your tree in there. So you need to actively promote it with tree.
It can be passive if you're lucky. The CEO though says the best thing to do is if you've got 3 people, bring in 3 people yourself. He says if you wanted to be passive, then you should buy in about level 7, level 6, somewhere around there.
Okay.
But
And
I don't know
so,
how much that costs. I haven't worked that out yet.
yeah. Is there a system, Andy, you can consider offering that we pull a bit together and we fill our matrix with when we have 3? So say I have 2 and maybe I get another 2 and I have 1 spear. Shall I then put it in the downline? You know,
Well, you
So
don't
to
decide
help,
where they go. They just sign up with your reference number, your referral number, and the computer decides where they're going.
okay, so but then if I fill my tree, I have my tree, the computer knows that, right?
Yes.
Okay, but my downline has only one. Can
Yeah.
I
So then
just
you put
use
forth,
that link?
just keep no, you can, but you can just as easily carry on using your link, and the computer will put in the first three people you put in will be your 1, 2, and 3 on your front line. The next person you put in will go to the one below number 1. Okay. Now, if number 1's already got one and number 2 hasn't, it'll go to number 2. If numbers 1 and 2 have got one and number 3 hasn't, it'll go to number 3.
So in my case, then I should see something in my system because you have already a team.
Yes, you'll see the list of people that have registered with your referral link. But when you look
Mhm.
at your matrix, you'll see they're not all personal to you. They're all in different positions.
It's for me, I find it complicated. So are you getting already some profit
Yes.
from your team who
Yeah.
sign up under you?
Yes.
Yeah, I got immediately paid from these people, but I don't get paid anything out of the system yet.
What do you mean out of the system?
So when John signed up under me, say, or Karen or who, no, Teresa signed up under me, I got immediately some funds given to me and a profit of her purchases,
Yes.
but nothing more. So there is nothing more in that whole matrix producing.
Yes. So when another person signs up below one of the people you've introduced, you'll receive some more money from that.
So it is really a network system. You need to really network, or you need to buy level 6 or 7.
It's
That's a high
definitely
price,
it's
right?
definitely a recruiting platform. Yes. The
I
only way
wasn't.
you can make it work as a passive platform is if you buy in straight away on level 6, somewhere around there, and then just sit back and wait for all the people being introduced all around you. Wait for them to get in and build and grow, and you'll just continue to receive money on into the future.
But that is a high risk. That's fairly steep money, isn't it?
It's big money, yes.
Yeah. It was a bit presented differently to me, but anyway, I'm in now, so we're gonna find some more people who like it too.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Thanks.
Okay. Well, if I misrepresented it, I apologize. If it was my
It was a
presentation,
bit represented as a passive thing, it will drop in. And I thought, and then later on, the owners start talking about it a second time. And I thought, it sounds like you really, when he showed his back office, you really need to recruit, then you will get the things moving smoothly. And yeah. And it's just only how many weeks old? It's not very old. So
21,
maybe.
21 days today.
Yeah. Yeah. For that reason, I think, we in early, so there will be spillover coming over time, wouldn't there?
Yes. Yes. My plan
Mm.
with this is to get in at a certain level and introduce a bunch of people, and then the only other thing I'm going to do is, as I get money, I'm going to take some out and I'm going to reinvest some to go back up, go up another level.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But you're in this, you're in your hard-working position that you already have a big team under you. I have like some people who have no team under them, so that will be far more slower for them to earn something. So that brings me a bit like, how can I help my team to see, and you
Yeah.
are saying you just put them under yourself and they fall in your team. But
Yes.
before that, you said you have no control over where they go. So that was a little bit of a mind
Well,
bending for
they'll
me.
always be in your team somewhere. But the computer fills up your mate. If you were to introduce 12 people straight away on day one, that'd be your first 3 on your front line, and then all of their 3 on all of their front line.
Mhm.
So that'd be so your people wouldn't be given to somebody else in a different group. They're always when you introduce people, they're always going to be in your group.
Yeah, but will my downline benefit from my actions?
Yes,
That is
they've got to
important.
go. The people you introduce have got to go somewhere. So
Okay.
sometimes they will go under
Ah,
Karen, and sometimes they'll go under Teresa, and sometimes they go under
ah,
John. So
okay. Oh,
they've got to go somewhere.
okay, John, you better get cracking then.
But just understand that as the network fans out, if you don't have active people constantly putting people or active people putting people in, at some point you're not going to be able to feed everybody. And so, if you're just putting people in as best you can, but you've got your network's fanned quite wide down by about level 6 or something, John's only going to get one of your people put in his team every 3 months because there's just too many other places for the computer to fill up. So that's why
Ah,
you want to introduce people who can introduce some people. I think if everybody introduces 2, then the whole thing can grow. If everybody only
okay.
introduces 1, it'll be much more difficult.
Okay. Well, that brings me then that I should look at my team who I introduce to see if I can make them with 2 people. Then that would grow better, wouldn't it?
Yes, if you were to take their referral links and give them out to your people and say you're now signed up under John,
Mm-hmm.
then it would that person would definitely go under John.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's no reason why you can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know other people building their systems like that, and it seems to help everybody a little bit more to get that whole thing moving.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So it's a strange system. We've never been involved in anything like that before. But I've just got this strange feeling it's going to work out well for us. Okay, guys. So no more questions. And Gay, are you happy to write up that information and put it in the Republic of Old Souls? I volunteered.
Yeah.
I volunteered for it. So
Yeah, I saw that. I will try to do my best. I probably need AI to write it out for me because I'm so clumsy, but I will do my best and we'll run it against somebody and then I put it out. Yeah, no problem.
okay. Or you could give it your best shot and then send it to me if you like.
All right then.
Okay.
Hey,
So
Andy,
yeah, I appreciate you doing that. Yes, Becky.
do you have any idea when you might think the next meeting for Veralio is going to be?
Well, I'm meeting with the guys in a couple of days, and I've said that I want to actually do something this week. At the moment, I seem to be spending all my life on Zoom. I got up this morning with a list of things I wanted to do today, and I've been on Zoom calls ever since. It was all I could do. You probably saw me on our meeting earlier, Gay. I was still chewing my tea. So it was all I could do to get some food to eat today. So I want to think that I can get a meeting for the members of Veralio later in the week, maybe Thursday, something like that. But I need to get everything squared away with Lyndon and Angelos before I do. Otherwise, it's just telling people things they already know.
Okay, thank you.
So yes, I'm going to aim for later this week. Okay, we've lost somebody,
Wow.
which probably means it's time to go. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. And it's been nearly a couple of hours already. So yeah, I do appreciate it. And I'll look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. I'll do the presentation about the different platforms. Thursday, I'm going to do an e-estate meeting, all things being well, all IT working as it should. Failing that, if you need me before then, you know where I am. So God bless. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Andy.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I will.
Thank you,
Night-night.
Andy. Thank you.
Oh, we'll speak soon, chat.
Okay, Jim. Okay.
I want to see you win. I want to see you absolutely smash every single dream you have. I want to see you overcome all of the barriers you face, and I want to see you succeed. I'm your biggest fan, your top supporter, and I'll be with you every single step of the way. You're destined for greatness, with or without me, and I want to see you achieve. Your potential is limitless, and your determination is inspiring. Keep striving for your goals, and I'll continue to cheer you on.